next 10 to 15 minutes to give you a quick overview over our SUTEE competence framework, which tries to bring green competencies and digital competencies together. And yes, you heard a lot about the Green Comp and the different competence areas in the Green Comp and the competencies and how it worked and the systematic behind the Green Comp framework. And the other side of our SUTEE framework, the DICCOMP framework, was already been mentioned in the keynote, I think. But I give you a short introduction into the DICCOMP framework. It's quite similar to Green Comp. It's also a framework from the European Union, but it addresses not green competencies, but digital competencies. And digital competencies are defined from the European Union and from the authors of the DICCOMP as competencies that involves the confident, critical, and responsible use of and engagement with digital technologies for learning, for work, and for participation in society. And that's quite similar to Green Comp. They are not competencies only for markets and only for the labor market or only for a workplace or something like that. These are competencies for all European citizens, and that's the same in Green Comp and also in the DICCOMP. Yeah, the DICCOMP is a little bit older than the Green Comp framework. The first version came in 2013, and now we are in the version 2.2. And the DICCOMP has 5 key areas or 5 competence areas, as you can see on this slide. These 5 key areas are information and data literacy, communication and collaboration, digital content creation, also the media production, also safety. That means on the one hand, personal protection and well-being, and on the other hand, data protection and the protection of the digital identity of citizens, for example. And the last competence area is the area of problem solving. That means solve technical problems on the one hand and identify digital needs to solve these problems, but also update your own digital competencies and help others to update their digital competencies as well. And yes, each of these competence areas has different competencies. In summary, there are 21 of these competencies in DICCOMP. And we have a quick look at these competencies on this slide. As you can see here, there are different competencies in every area, a different number of competencies also in each area. For example, the area information and data literacy has only 3 competencies: browsing, searching, and filtering, evaluating, and managing. And another competence area, for example, communication and collaboration, is there are more competencies in this field. For example, interacting, sharing, engaging in citizenship, collaborating, the netiquette, or managing digital identity. Yes, and to all of these 21 competencies, the authors of DICCOMP has defined brief descriptors to make clear what is meant with these competencies. For example, in the area of information data literacy, for the competence browsing, searching, and filtering data, information, and digital content, there is the brief descriptor. That means to articulate information needs, to search for data, information, and content in digital environments, to access them and to navigate between them, to create and update personal search strategies. that makes quite clear what is meant with this competence. And this is written down to all of these 21 competencies. Another example you can see on the slide for the area problem solving. For example, the competence solving technical problems. That means you can identify technical problems when operating with different devices and using digital environments, and you're also able to solve them, from troubleshooting to solving more complex problems. These are, yeah, these descriptors are made for every competence, and this goes a little bit deeper in the DICCOMP, but for this overview, I think it's enough. If you are interested in DICCOMP, you can find it on the web page of the EU and also on the Joint Research Center of the European Union. These are the authors of the DICCOMP. Yeah, what have we done in the SUTEE project is we try to bring these green competencies and digital competencies together and try to find intersections between these two competence frameworks. Of course, SUTEE addresses both the green competencies on the one hand side and the digital competencies, especially the use of digital tools and technologies on the other hand. And the result of this work you can see here with the SUTEE competence framework, we were able to identify 5 competencies that have intersections between the DICCOMP and also the green comp. And in this table, you can see in the middle the competencies of the SUTEE comp, the new SUTEE comp. And these are, for example, the data and information competence at first, and these have connections with the green comp. For example, the competencies systems thinking and also problem framing. Ulrike told us a little bit about these competencies a few minutes ago. And there are also connections to the DICCOMP. For example, here in the competence browsing, searching, and filtering data, and information and digital content. And another competence is also linked to our new SUTEE competence, and this is evaluating data, information, and digital content. And we can see these connections on the other 4 competencies in the SUTEE comp as well. The second one is communication and collaboration for sustainability. And here we have connections to political agency and collective action in the green comp, and also connections to the DICCOMP when we have the competences interacting through digital technologies and sharing through digital technologies, and also engaging citizenship through digital technologies or collaborating through digital technologies. It's a little bit too quick here. And the third one is the critical thinking and problem solving. They are also connecting not between these 2 frameworks with the new one. Critical thinking is also a dimension we can find in the green comp as well as in the DICCOMP framework. It's called identifying needs and technology responses in the DICCOMP, and creatively using digital technologies is also a link to this, a new competence. Data safety and data protection in sustainable contexts is the fourth one, and these are the connections to the DICCOMP is here, the protecting the environment, and the connection to the green comp is the individual acting for sustainability. And the last one is the creative content development for sustainable future visions. There's the production part in this competence. And here you have connections to the green comp in futures literacy, for example, adaptability and explorative thinking, And the connection to the DICCOMP is the developing of digital content and the integrating and re-elaborating of digital content. Yeah, what does this mean? These five competences in the SUTEE competence framework, and that we can see here. For example, for the first one, the data and information competence, and common competence we defined as the ability to search for, evaluate, and use digital and environmental information, and also make informed decisions. And this also includes the understanding of complex data and its significance for sustainable practices. Yeah, and if to make it concrete, we have formulated a teaching learning activity example. And for example, you can develop these competence if you can create a concept map to systematically illustrate the connections and interactions between different factors of the urban ecosystem. It's quite similar to the T-bag example from Ulrike from the Green Comp. And if you can do it, for example, with a digital tool, digital concept map tool, you can also develop these competence in both ways, the green competence part also as the digital competence part. And this is a good example, as we think, for developing the data and information competence in our SUTEE competence framework. For the second one, the communication and collaboration for sustainability, we've also formulated the common competence. This is the effective communication and collaboration through digital technologies to achieve sustainable goals. And this includes using digital platforms, for example, for collaboration and knowledge sharing about sustainability practices. And an example for a teaching and learning activity we've formulated here on the right-hand side. It could be a launch a political campaign, for example, via an online petition or a social network for the ecological redesign of a square in the city. This is a quite complex task for a class, but if the students are a little bit older, I think this is an activity that is manageable. The critical thinking and problem solving is defined from us with the common competence, critical thinking and problem solving skills in digital and sustainable contexts. And this involves the ability to identify, analyze, and develop innovative solutions that are both technologically and ecologically sound. And our teaching and learning example here is to collect data, for example, about temperature, humidity, and so on, and visualize this data using a digital map, for example. And with using this digital map, you can identify and highlight areas in the city that seem particularly problematic when you think about rising temperatures in conjunction with climate change. You can also see in this teaching learning activity example here the connection between the green competency part and the digital competency part. We already try to develop these green competences by using digital tools. And when we use digital tools, we can also develop the digital competence part. Yeah, the fourth one is safety and data protection in sustainable contexts. The common competence is the ability to ensure digital security and protect personal data while promoting sustainable practices. And this includes the awareness of protecting both the digital and natural resources. And our example for a teaching learning activity is here to track the carbon dioxide savings when using public transport, cycling, or walking instead of using the car. Reflecting on the fact that the movement data could be used to create a movement pattern. And we've also have this done for the last competence, the creative content development for sustainable future visions. And the common competence here is the ability to create digital content that supports sustainable future visions. And this includes using digital tools and technologies to create educational and informational materials that convey sustainable messages. And we have also a teaching learning activity example here. And this is using digital tools to design a plan for a redesigned square or a public square that addresses environmental issues, humidity, temperature, noise, and so on. Here is the creative development, the productional part of the competencies addressed. Well, these are the 5 dimensions in a nutshell of the SUTEE competence framework. And we try to bring together these digital competencies and green competencies to have a small and easy to handle framework, which we want to use when we develop more teaching learning activities and try also to measure these competencies when teachers and also students use these activities, and try to integrate these competencies in their classes. Yeah, these 5 key competencies according to which TLAs and assessments can be developed. The SUTEE competence framework offers also the opportunity to further differentiation. Okay, yeah, that's all for the moment. I hope this was not too much information about frameworks and frameworks and frameworks. Maybe you have some questions about it.